Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my birthing plan. So obviously you got the normal information at the top that is like important to the midwife and everyone, and then it goes on to talking about the actual birth. So let's get started. My delivery is planned as a water birth, and I mean, I don't think you'll have a C-section in the water birth, but it's obviously vaginal. But I've also put here C-section, but only if emergency, and I have put that in brackets here just because I don't want a C-section unless obviously I'm overdue and I need a C-section, or there's complications. Otherwise I want to try and do it all natural. I'd like my sister and baby's dad to be there, but due to COVID restrictions I might only be able to have the one person there, so that'll depend on who's in the room when I give birth. And I want them there before and during labour. During the labour I want music to be played, but only music that I provide. As few vaginal exams as possible, which is like, I think, where they see how far dilated you are. Like, I don't mind having the exams, but I don't want to have like loads of them every like 20 minutes or whatever. I want the hospital staff limited to my own doctors and nurses, so like basically the group I'm with, I just want them there. I don't really want, I'd probably have a practice, like one trainee person there, but not any more than that. I want my sister to film and take photos before, during and after birth, and I want my sister to be present at all times. I mean, her dad, I'd like him to be present at all times, but again, due to COVID restrictions, it depends. I really don't want to go into birth on my own. I'd like to spend the first stages of labour standing up and using a birthing ball to try and like speed up dilation and everything. Walking around and dancing, because I won't be surprised if I do a few TikToks while I'm there. And when the bath's like, the water bath is to a certain temperature, I'd like to get in it, like if pain starts to get really bad. I'd like fetal to be monitoring externally, so they only monitor me on the outside of my belly, but not internal. And only to monitor me, like, or cause more worry if baby is in distress. I'd like the labour augmentation, I don't know what the hell that is, but whatever it is, I want it to only be performed if the baby is in distress. And for pain relief, I'm going to use breathing techniques that I know of, a massage if possible, a normal epidural if it's too much for me, but I only want that requested at the time, and whatever is suggested to me, I will then make the decision on whether I have it or not. During delivery, I want to lean on the bathtub, but like that way, not like laid back. I want it to be, yeah, like that. And to like be on my hands and knees, and then like depends on how I feel about that, I might stand up, it depends, but they're roughly what I want to do. I'll bring a bag for me, a bag for the baby, and a car seat / pram for baby to come home in. Probably just a car seat, but it depends on if I have the pram here or not before I give birth. As the baby is delivered, I'd like to be I'd like to push as directed, but I would also like to push when my body tells me to, and to push without time limits. So like, as long as me and the baby are not at risk, I'd like to like continuously push as much as possible. And then when I need it, a full dose of epidural. I want to avoid the usage of forceps and the vacuum, but if it's needed to be used, then I'm more than happy for it to be added in, but I'd like to avoid it as much as possible. Warm compresses I think would help with birth, maybe. I want to lower the risk of any tears, and I want most of the stuff on like this section to be performed like as a last resort, and deemed when my doctor says like it's necessary to have stuff put in place. Local anesthesia, and then probably local anesthesia to recover probably faster. After delivery, I want to have the umbilical cord to be stopped once it, you know, the nutrients and stuff that goes through the cord, I want that to be chopped, like I want the cord chopped once that's all gone through to the baby. And then and then anything that's left I'll donate it. If I have to have a C-section as a backup, it has to be my second opinion. No, I'd like a second opinion, but at the same time I only want it if there's an emergency. If all the other options have been looked at, I would like to stay conscious so I know what the hell is going on. Whoever ends up being in the birth room with me, I want them to stay with me throughout the whole time. And then I'm pretty sure you can have a screen to see what they're doing, so you can watch the baby come out. I'd like to have that lowered so I can actually see what's going on. My hands like to be free, so then when the baby comes out I can feel her straight away. Just a normal epidural, and then after bonding time with me and the baby to be passed on to my sister and her dad. And then I want to breastfeed in the recovery room, whether that's a C-section I'm not able to breastfeed afterwards, or if I'm able to do natural and breastfeed. I'd like to hold the baby only once she has been wiped and cleaned, and probably put like a towel or something over her. And if they need to like clean the nose and like eye droplets and whatever, I'd like to hold her after that, so they don't have to worry about trying to work around me holding my baby and stuff. I'd rather them just get on with it and then pass me her. I'd like to breastfeed as soon as possible. And like as soon as possible and later on. And then any other family members that come, which should be my best friend, if she's there, I want her to join us once baby's born, just in case she's like able to make it but she won't be able to make it for when I give birth. I'd like the baby's medical exam and procedures given in my presence once we've bonded. Any tests and everything, I want that to be done in front of me and anyone that's with me in the room, to include a hearing and a hepatitis B vaccine. I don't want my baby to have vitamin K, any eye treatments that aren't normally there, any sugar water. I don't want them to give her formula unless she doesn't latch on. And then I'm gonna bring my own pacifier, so I don't need, they won't need to give her one. I want her to have a bath before we go home. Like, I want to have my own like wash before I leave, but I want her to be washed in my presence, so I know what I'm doing. I know like how to bathe her properly. I want to give her a bath in the presence of her dad, and then at the same time I want to see if we can both take over looking after the baby while in the bath, so we know what we're doing by the time we get home. So like when we want to give baby a bath, we know what we're doing with her. I want to feed my baby really only with breast milk, but only with formula if she doesn't latch, on a schedule. And my health visitor, yeah, I think it's my health visitor, she said she will help me to try and latch on with my baby, like my baby to latch onto me to breastfeed and whatever. And I want my baby to stay with me in my room at all times if I have to stay in the hospital. And then my sister and the dad to have unlimited visiting if I have to sleep, and if one of them stays, I want them to stay with me in the room. After birth, I'd like to stay in hospital as briefly as possible because I don't want to stay there forever, but 1-2 days I wouldn't mind. And then if baby isn't well and has to go like into an incubator or anything like that, I want to accompany her there. I'd still like to try and breastfeed if baby like is not well, and whenever it's possible for me to hold her, I will do. An Admiral binder is something that you have on your waist. It's normally for parents who have a C-section, but with an actual you are allowed to request it, so I'm going to request it anyway, and hopefully I'll be able to have one. And a keepsake of the umbilical cords, like a long enough strip of the umbilical cords, then I can get it dried and into like either a love heart or a word, if it's long enough. So that's my birth plan. It's 3 pages long. Always got to be prepared. But it's 3 pages long. It's something that I think I'm going to go through with my midwife tomorrow, hopefully, because it's just sat in my bag of notes at the moment and it's annoying me, the fact that we can't look over them yet. But we will be doing that very soon, as I know of. And I never know, tomorrow I might end up going to the hospital because I might need another scan to see how she's growing, but I don't have any concerns really because I'm a small person, so baby's going to be small, but we're all right for now. So that's it for today's video. Like I said, it's my birth plan, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.